Yeah, he was just telling me a story, or reminded me of a story when he sent an angel for me. I had a big J10 truck, only a few of those. These monster tires. It was bright red too. And me and my wife Monica and my two daughters, Desi and Nicole, were moving to Vegas. We're leaving Iowa and coming back, going to her parents. Going through the pass in Colorado, sunshine or snow coming down, and they weren't letting people down the hill. Except he seen my truck and said, "Yeah, you're okay. Go ahead." And he let us go. Somewhere before Junction, Grand Junction, on a Sunday morning, my right front wheel snapped all its lugs and went flying off into the field. And I went down on that rotor and pulled it to the side of the road. We're talking maybe 7 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday. My wife and two kids in the truck. I went and chased down my tire, got it, brought it back, and thought, okay, now what do I do? This was long before cell phones. Well, they had them, they just not in our budget. And as I'm looking at that truck, a guy pulls over and stops behind me. And walks up and talks to me, and I told him what's happened, and he says, "Well, why don't I give you a ride to the town so you can make a phone call or something?" And so we did. I told my girls just to be patient. I'll figure out something. And so as I went into that town with that guy, he took me to the phone, and I called her parents. Told them I'm going to try to figure it out. I'm not really sure. But I'd let them know what I did come up with. And when I went back to the car, the guy tells me that he happens to be friends with the guy that owns the Napa store. He says, "Let me call him real quick." And he calls this man. And he comes down and opens the store to sell me 6 lug nuts and bolts to put on my truck. And I remember it forever. It was like $12 worth of bolts. He came down to open that store to sell that to me. I went back with that guy to my truck, and he stayed there while I fixed the truck. He really wasn't very mechanically inclined, but he was there to hand me whatever I needed. I put those bolts on, got my tire back on, and thanked him severely. Offered him money, he wouldn't take it, and went on to Vegas. It's just one of the many times that my life makes sense now. It is and has always been my destiny to be here. Though I don't call myself a privileged brat because I really had it tough. But in a lot of ways I was privileged, that being one of them. I was never in danger. And turns out I really do have a bulletproof avatar. Patrick, Christ the Second, your second king, and his second son, signing off.